August 10th, 2025. Today in Altman Hospital, Saspel. It's usually in Walmart's. Today was the hospital. I walk in, some guy's talking. They're gonna tell Agent John they called him a coward. And blah, 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 blah. Boy, I'd like to be a fly on that wall. All he has to do is confront Michelle. She'll sing like a canary. You know, there was so many people saying stuff in there. So many people. It was a cesspool. And people that know better. Know better. I was just in the bathroom. I could hear people talking outside the bathroom. No one better be talking to anybody about anybody that was ever seen here. The hospital gets sued for millions. I know. I know. Then other people saying stuff. Well, my husband and I went for a ride, looking at it, find a safe place to live when everything's done. And went through Massillon, and we were talking about where I was really sick before, and it was wrote up as fraud, medical malpractice, and medication errors. And that some of the investigators have been worried that since I swelled up so bad, had seizures, had heart attacks, thyroid, adrenal gland shut down, I was dying the time they told me it was fraud. Now, they were known for lying, falsely diagnosing people, ripping them off, making them sick, sharing them with their associates and friends, doing the same thing, getting kickbacks from drug companies, and draining their insurance companies like a checking account that they can just drain. And then making people so sick that they do unnecessary procedures to get an attorney and sue them. They defrauded you. It's a medicine making you sick. The only thing's wrong with you is your muscles locked up. And it's wrote up as fraud. Then revisited that it's fraud. And it was a medication making you sick. And the investigators have been worried that with everything going on, that call our my ex-husband paid those doctors to do it because it took another doctor to tell on him. And I could have died. Well, my community health told the police and the FBI in 2018. Okay? Per second month. Said something in front of Dave. That there was nothing wrong with you before, but your muscles locked up. It was the medicine that made you sick. It was fraud. Okay? I go through Massillon and hear some guy in the distance. These people thought they could use fraud against her. Is that what's going on? A bunch of medical fraud? I bet her husband, with everything going on, paid those doctors to do that. Oh, that's what they think. Yeah, that's what they think. God. When you realize how much, by the grace of God, are you still here? And it's wrote up as fraud. And it's also wrote up, some other woman was using my insurance since 86. Ran up a bunch of bills. March 27th, 25, the guy that was dating Michelle on a roosh broke up with her. Got her to confess that the doctor from before was not one of mine, works for them, and they had lied. He was one of her doctors. She actually don't know who he is. And when they bashed in her head, they tried to leave her incompetent or kill her, and it didn't work. He had got it out of Dave that a girlfriend from before me made him marry me so that he could get a job at my dad's factory. And she could have free insurance. The woman using my insurance was another girlfriend. My whole marriage was a scam. I had chest pains for days. And he could give her extra money. He had gotten out of the Vegas. When he asked him, why would you say that offended you? That someone calling her a faker 6 months later had nothing to do with that traffic accident. Said it didn't even concern them. They lied so people would help out. That man needs a hug and a promotion. But they said something in front of the police and feds, first month or two of the case. They were sitting in the back room. Said something in front of Dave. That it was fraud. And they were defrauding me. They encouraged me and Dave to sue him for years. See, that's where September 30th, 25, that biker confronted Michelle. I listened to September of 23? Where first he said, does she even know who you are? No, and I don't want her to know. So if I go knock on that door and I ask her if she knows who you are, would she know who you are? Who you are? He said, no, I don't know. I don't want her to know who I am. She doesn't know who I am. And she doesn't know who you are, and you had her skull bashed in and had her raped and tortured because your family was in debt to those drug dealers. Yes, I'm sorry. Well, the guys running it showed up and said no one's allowed to ever say a word to her again. They found out this whole thing is your family's debt to drug dealers. Is that what's going on? Yes, I'm sorry. I listened to her friend Matt and her talk January 13th, 23, that the Ohio drug dealers were threatening that agent's life. Because they thought he let all those people be human trafficked. And here it was your family doing it? Yes, I'm sorry. Your family human trafficked people to pay back those drug dealers? Yes, I'm sorry. I listened to September 23 where the cartel admitted that they photoshopped everything before. Did you know that? Yes. Did you know where they confronted her ex-husband? That it was a medication error that made her sick before and fraud, and it's wrote up that way, and they encouraged them to sue those doctors for years? Did you know that? Yes, I'm sorry. Oh. And I found out that it's you that went to her new husband's family, said that they could bash his skull in, take him out to Youngstown, have him found an attorney and find him incompetent, drop him in a nursing home, they could walk off with everything they had. And if they had something set up in Youngstown, it's ruined because you told his family they could do it. I know, I'm sorry, but I really liked that land and I wanted it. Well, Carl's son Rick told little Rob that he's in a lot of debt. He makes $200,000 a year. Long distance truck driver. Goes down to Florida several times a year, stays over a month. He's messing around with the Florida drug cartel. Now all of a sudden he's in a lot of debt. He needs that land now. He's not getting it. Not a damn dime. If he would have been good and loved his dad, I'd already signed off on it. He would have got it in 15 years, 10, 15 years when Carl passes. But you threaten his life, you threaten my life, you get nothing. 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 And then tell people he's got a plan. He don't know how exactly he's going to do it, but he's going to bash his own father's head in, kidnap him, take him out to Youngstown, have him found incompetent, and drop him in a nursing home. It has an attorney ready to do it. If it's on Google, if an attorney tries that, it's 5 to 10 years. If a child tries to get a parent listed incompetent to steal their land or money, you can get 20, honey. Yeah. And then threaten to do it to me. They didn't know what they're going to do to me. I'll be probably floating in the river. He ain't getting a damn dime. It's coming down to that. Not a damn dime. Inciting these idiots. And then Rick telling little Rob that he's in all kinds of debt and he needs that land. Michelle wants it. You're not getting it. That's all there is to it. Got it? Now, they admitted in 18, they photoshopped all their lives. That's how they put it. They admitted where you had bruises before throwing up and infected. It wasn't the dirty well water making you sick. It was us. We were drugging you and telling you to say this. We were drugging you and telling you to say that. We were beating, raping, and that's what was causing it. And then they did the photoshopping of all their lies, racing people out of the room. They already knew that in 18. And then by 19, January, February 19, they were bragging that they were using a doctor that worked for the Florida drug cartel and that he'd never met me in person. Oh. So the case was over in 18 and 19. It was already solved. It was a cartel they were after. So where people show up and they're idiots, they were getting even with her because she was weird with herself. It's already documented and verified. It's Photoshopped. In 21, March 1st to 3rd of 21, they put 2 clips together. Put her in a porn. It's not her, it's them. Don't worry about her. Then what? Later on, you're describing it showering? Ha 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 ha. She figured out what they did. May 12th, 22 at noon, they found a tape of them emitting a shower scene in the other room. May 26th, 22 at noon, the shower scene was done on purpose. Emitted a frame in me March 24th, 22, 1:30. August of 23 is documented and verified I was framed before, and it was a drug cartel in my home before. Officer Mark. Okay. It's documented and verified another woman was using my insurance, and it was a medication error. They didn't say allergic reaction. They said medication error. Do you know what medication error means? False diagnosis and wrong meds. It's fraud. It's rolled up as fraud. And then somebody else was using my insurance. Half my medical records are some girlfriends of dates. There was rumors of him cheating right away when we got married with a heavyset, white, round woman. Of course, he denied it. And then all this medical stuff, and he's saying some crazy woman stole your ID. Karen ran up ungodly amount of bills over 15 years when Harry carrying on my insurance. You still don't have to show ID at Altman Hospital Law. You can get admitted, get treatments. Back then, 40 years ago, you really didn't have to show ID. You just went in and told them who you were and they looked you up. Okay? Half my medical records are his girlfriends. Okay? So, let's see. July 24th, 25, when the investigators from 18. I had forgot how big Karen was when the case first started. Did a body ratio of the tape of weird with herself. It wasn't even her. It's some other lady showering. They put her head on somebody else's body. They verified it wasn't even me. Danny and Jen knew nothing of tape of weird with yourself or any cameras, button cameras setting up in the house. They knew I had bruises, throwing up, and almost passing out. But they didn't know somebody was drug beating, raping me, and they didn't know they were taping in the bathroom. They didn't know they photoshopped a shower scene, let alone my head on somebody else's body. They weren't part of it. Christmas Eve of 22. And they even told Carl they weren't part of it. Want me to keep going? And then August 4th, 25, of them using hypnotic drugs on me. That's why I had a metal taste in my mouth. It causes sleepwalking, and she has no memory of what those people did. August 5th, 25, as if Agent John didn't know they were using hypnotic drugs on her when they drugged her and told her to say it before. And that's why she has no memory of these people and had that metal taste in her mouth. He was telling people before the case started he knew she was being drugged, beaten, raped before the case started and didn't care. He even let them torture. Is he some kind of coward? Oh, everybody's been talking about that one. August 7th, 25, Walmart 62 investigators. We have a tape of them admitting again. They drugged her and told her to say it before. Now they even said what kind of drugs they used. that it was hypnotic drugs that caused sleepwalking and that metal taste in her mouth with no memory. And they called Agent John a coward. We got him. So when you show up and you say something about somebody getting even with me for a tape of Weird with Yourself, and it's documented, verified, it's a shower scene of washing yourself in the shower. And it's not even me, it's my head on somebody else's body. Already verified. Already documented, verified that they drugged me and told me to say it before. July 25th, 25. I'm in Bob Evans. Some idiot says something stupid to me. I go off. I go over to Walmart 62. Investigator came in. I told those people never to say a word to her ever again. I interviewed her son John years ago. Said nothing bad ever happened to him. So did all her boys. Well, they're supposed to have drugged her and told her to say they already confessed years ago. Years ago. Years ago. Still trying to pull the same stupid scam of drugs and told to say it and photoshopping and washing with their special permission. They didn't have special permission. There's no such thing. And it is Michelle's dad, the guy in Maslin. December 1824, the guy walks in Walmart 62. Karen didn't know who Michelle was till January or February 19. No, I made sure of it. Well, those people said she threatened her. And if she threatened her, I didn't care what they did to her. And she didn't know who she was. No, I made sure of it. He said the drug dealer that bet that nobody would ever want her again after what he had done to her told him to leave her alone. Karen's getting remarried. I knew she had it in her. January 5th, 25. Walmart 62 investigators. Now he's telling everybody he's the agent over my case and he's a guy from Maslin helping him get away with crimes. Okay? He's lying. He's not the agent over my case. He said they came in and said that we got what is this? Another FBI agent lied to a U.S. Marshal. She was weird with herself. We always knew it was photoshopped of washing herself in the shower. And they had drugged her and told her to say it before. We always knew that. We have the agent over a case tape saying he let all this happen because he thought she threatened his daughter. Was the FBI getting even with her for thinking that she threatened one of their kids? And to find out she didn't even know who she was. Do they realize how not funny this is? January 30th, 25, Walmart 62. He comes back in with a guy that was following me in Carrollton that day. He said, I already told these people that none of this is funny. He said, since I found out, Karen didn't even know who Michelle was. He said, I found out Terry Coberly seen him almost kidnap her. He said, I really feel bad. He said, I also found out it was a medication error that made her sick before. I really feel bad. I told her ex-husband when he called down to my office, tell him I wasn't there anymore. And the police said she had rights and no one will say a word to her. Okay? He was in it one day. His office. Where people kept saying, what's that guy's problem in Maslin? Helping people get away with crimes. What is his problem? Involving himself in crimes. Where I was talking to Josh about dating a retired Maslin police officer. He said, Maslin police. He said there was a guy in Maslin helping him get away with everything. Dad found out he wasn't there anymore, freaked out and fled the country. Where Danny said he freaked out one day, wouldn't listen to him, left everything behind, told me he'd never come back to the country ever again. And that I could have everything, including his clothes. He wouldn't listen to me, as if I'd want his clothes. He was fleeing the country forever. Get the idea? It's Michelle's dad. Get the idea? September 10th, 25, down in Tuscarawas County Courthouse, they were down there lying on me. That judge that was over the restraining order we were trying to get against Carl's stepchildren, it said that office was here, said she's nothing but a liar, nothing she said is credible, and we're all to get even with her. And then I heard people in the prosecutor's office, somebody behind the door talking, then some other guy behind the door. September 18th, 25, Walmart West Husk investigators. It was that office behind all this in that courthouse, lying to all of them, trying to get Agent John's case thrown out against the cartel. It's not funny. They're impersonating the Portage County Sheriffs. It's just that office. Michelle's dad. Get it? They said they already know who's doing it. Case is solved, Agent John. I'd like my money. For why are they calling Agent John a coward? Well, he already told on her before he talked to her. For calling the FBI hotline. Admitted on a recorded line everyone knew she called the FBI. Or he even opened the case. Then he doesn't have the authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. Then open the case and didn't pay her. He was defrauding her. And they want the whole case thrown out against the drug cartel. And no one else arrested off this. Because he didn't pay her. He was defrauding her. You might want to pay me. Medical card too. Let her thank you. And then you need to arrest Michelle or Dad. You got him. 100%. Everybody's been talking about Michelle's confession to human trafficking, and her whole family did this because they were in debt to drug dealers. For the whole thing is a bet between two gentlemen. One bet he could be so cruel, he could push her to suicide. The other one bet he could make her give up everything in life and have people participate in it. Winner takes all. You bet everything you have in life. They're fools, man. Where he had probably already made more, because they said he was already in debt to the drug dealers. Made a second bet. And like they said, Michelle's dad ran for Michelle to get everything. The scam. Like they said in Maslin, what were people thinking? Why would she deserve anything? Why? And her family already admitted they were human trafficking people and selling people to pay back drug dealers. Nobody better say a word to her again. Oh, everybody knows, including children. Forget you sold the login? They're the ones framing the Portage County sheriffs. They're the ones framing Judge Ludick. And like they said, September 23rd, 25, up in Summit Mall. Yeah, the guy that tortured her works for that office. It's not funny. He tells people he's FBI. No, it's not. I'm going to upload this.